It was a normal morning. I was getting ready to go out the door to work when I was greeted by a state trooper. The kids were excited knowing that there was a cop at the house, and I routinely thought it was a follow-up call from 911 the night before on some rowdy neighbors. And when he first said, "No, ma'am, please step back in the house," I knew then something was drastically wrong. We sent the kids upstairs per the trooper's request, and he told me that he had been killed in an accident earlier that morning.
I met Bob and Jill at the nursing home that I was working with. Jill was interested in increasing their life insurance protection. They felt they didn't have enough.
He explained everything. I showed it to my husband. We went in, we signed the paperwork. Actually, I think it was probably within a week's time before his death.
It was probably a week or two after the accident, and things were starting to settle down per se, and we were, going over figures of how much this was, how much that was, and she just looked at me and said, "I'm sunk."
I had just received a phone call from the company he had worked for to explain what the death benefit was, and that was a flat rate, and that was it.
It was really kind of ironic that we were having this conversation, and the phone rang, and it was Stuart, her insurance agent.
I just said, "Jill, I want you to know that Bob's policy was issued, and we're going to pay the claim."
It was a great relief just to know that there was that much extra cushion that we had to work with. In my mind, everything would be okay financially. We would be able to have a place for the kids.
What kind of animals are pinky in the brain? What? All right.
Bob had been in the military for years, and they bopped around from here to there and just never really had a place to call home. Their dream of actually buying a home, making a home for the kids. And they had that dream. They were married for 15 years and kept striving for that dream, for that dream, for that dream. And despite, the tragedy that occurred, that dream still came true.
The insurance policy did make a difference in whether I could work or not. It's been a good stress release for the kids. They have more security, more of a comfort in knowing day to day that Mom's going to be here to get them to school, Mom will be here when they get home from school.
Got math homework? No.
The life insurance didn't bring my husband back, but it gave us the ability to sustain and to try to rebuild. And since then I've bought additional insurance, figuring God forbid, if something happens to me, I want to make sure that the 4 kids can continue on and not have the worry of the financial burden. It's still very difficult to try and carry on. I think in my instance, it's a lot easier because I have the 4 kids. They're a big responsibility. They're a lot of motivation. They're the 4 biggest pieces of him I could ever have.